Hello and welcome back to Replay Flashbacks with me, Mainman105. I don't know why I added that, but it sounded good in my head. Today I'm playing on the Great Wall map, I believe it is, or it's called Empire's Border or something. I get these maps mixed up. But in this round, I'm going to head up to the eastern corner of the map and engage along the border up there. I do suffer a bit of lag throughout this game, but aside from a late start, it's not very influential on it. Here we go, off I go. At this point, when I recorded this game, or played this game, I quite grown fond of the 128 on the E75. Seemed like a quite good weapon. Knowing that the enemy does play in the flanks, I usually stick to the flanks on most maps, but in the rare occasion I will try to push through the center. Moving up to this eastern corner up here, we'll see what we can find out and see if I can get into a good position to counter enemy pushes and eliminate enemy forces. I do consider for a moment here holding this position and engaging any tanks that roll along that ridgeline, which a lot of medium tanks and light tanks frequently do, for that T-54 for example. And I do consider engaging him, but decide against it and continue moving up the hill. Now for your benefit, I am going to speed up the game just to 2-speed, because climbing this hill takes more than a year. So at this point, no casualties just yet, but we'll see about that in a moment. I believe we're about to lose our first armored vehicle at the south west portion of the map. Now the TVP is being engaged by Printed Jester. Excuse me. The TVP is engaged by Printed Jester and retreats back around the corner. Now I'm in a pretty excellent hull down position here. I'll just inspect it from the front, like I would have done if I was in here. My lower glaciers is quite exposed if it's seen with the proper angle, but that would require quite a lot of maneuvering from the opposition if they try to get into position to fire on me. There is the side of my tank and the rear of my tank, but that is high chance of deflecting the enemy fire, and the front armor of my tank can easily deflect pretty much anything. On this sort of steep angle, it's hard to imagine anything penetrating, and I do hold this position for a while, just making sure the other team doesn't get too aggressive and charge us down here. Soon I'll realize that the enemy isn't really paying attention to pushing here, but they do send some forces that I will engage very quickly, and we move up myself, the Centurion, and that French armored vehicle there, all push up, engage the TVP, as well as the enemy armor, like that Scorpion G for example. It gets fired on by that light tank. Well, it's technically a light tank, but it's, actually it is. It's not even an armored car. I didn't know the French had too many of those, but we engage and destroy the Scorpion. At least too many French light tanks in this game at this tier. But I use this position behind this wreck to engage and destroy this Waffenträger of Panzer IV. I believe that's how you say it. Not 100% sure, not German. Repeating what's been said. So that's 2 kills, 2 tank destroyers eliminated, 2 big guns that could have done a lot of damage. I'll let the control of the camera go to me as I play the game. So enjoy this. Now at this point, I do get engaged by that enemy armored heavy armor on that hill. Krav Argon. I don't know how to say the name, that's why I try to avoid it. But I overcommit here, and I really shouldn't have, but I kind of get away with it. worried about the T-54 lightweight, like I should be. I aim that way, and indeed I do get engaged. But knowing the hull armor of this vehicle, the amount of damage you can take to its hull before it explodes, I continue forward regardless of the T-54's meager damage, and make my way into cover and out of its firing line. Now you'll notice that WZ-111 up there is AFK, which is good and bad. Good, it can't fire on me, but bad, I can't exactly afford to deal with it while my team engages enemy armor here. Cannon and Jagdpanzer, for example, could do a lot of damage if it fired a weapon, but I assist and eliminate it. That WZ is still spotting me for the enemy. Just because the player is AFK doesn't mean the spotter is. And I engage this T-54 and eliminate it as it backs around the corner. Firing in blind, knowing exactly where it is because it just finished a millisecond before I fired, I kill it. Confident in my ability to eliminate this WZ-111, I push it, and knowing it's AFK means I'm not too concerned about it. I pump around into its front plate, knowing that the power of this weapon can easily knock through it, and I do suffer a bit of lag here. It's quickly corrected, and I move into the camp circle with little delay. Now at the top of the map, the northernmost sector near our deployment, a battle rages. T-95 FV 4201, the Object 263, and the Centurion all engage in eliminating the enemy tanks up there. There goes their 50 TP up there, which is a good start. Knowing where the Scorpion last was, I predict that he's going to come from this direction, considering there isn't very many places he can go. He could either flank back around and engage our Scorpion G, which he seems to try to do, but decides against it for some unknown reason at this point, probably because his armor is quite low and his HP is about to give out. Now I do find him in a weakened state, and he does come back here, and we'll see whether or not he's on time. So I begin to cap, ready for that Scorpion if he does rush down here, ready to end him and end the game. But I don't need to. So without further ado, I'll stop talking and let you admire the reason our Scorpion G killed himself in about 3, 2, 1, and there. I'll shut up and you can just be amazed. The Scorpion fires and misses, and I miss too. But I do a little bit more damage than he does. So he peeks around the corner, assuming that I was in the wrong position, but I wasn't. I fire and he dies. And that's that. 6 kills, a top gun, 3,000 damage done, a little bit of assist and a little bit of deflection damage. Enemy forces were all eliminated. I almost capped there, and I don't know whether or not capping or killing would have got me more HP, or more XP rather. But I was pretty happy with that. That was probably one of my best games in this vehicle, at least in the top 3 or top 4. I'll see you next time, and goodbye.